Oh, hello. Oh, it's dark. Is that better? All right. So yeah, practice today. Just got back. We threw, and we had a lift, and it was like box squats and stuff like that. But it's my roommate. But yeah. So we had a good practice today. I think it's been pretty sweet the last couple days. Went out with my friends on the weekend. I know it's kind of like a point of contention whenever it comes to like, drinking as an athlete, stuff like that. But my rule of thumb is if you're 21, then, and it's not to the point where, you feel like it's a problem, or like you can't stop going out or something like that. Like, I use it to reward myself. So like, I'm not going out every weekend. I'm not going out, this day of the week or whatever. Like, I went through a phase in my life where I was, and honestly, I was doing well athletically, but I know long term, like, that wasn't something that I could maintain. But yeah, I feel like as long as you're honest with yourself and you truly feel like you've gotten to a point where you can, enjoy yourself, but also manage yourself, that's something that's really important. But yeah, I don't know. I don't think it's a terrible thing. If you're not 21, I mean, I'm not gonna act like, I never did anything before I was 21, but also at the same time, like, why risk it? Like, if you're going out and partying on the weekends and stuff, like, why risk getting in trouble and losing scholarship or missing out on scholarship because you were young and dumb? But you have the rest of your life to make mistakes. You got 4 years for the rest of your life whenever you're in college. So I think that's something to consider. But one thing that we were talking about today at practice is that we're kind of getting closer to the season, and things are starting to fall into place, and now's the time where you kind of pick up intensity with throwing, and you try to really see what you can get out of it in practice, and then because that kind of transfers to whenever you throw in a meet. So we've been getting after it. I got a shot in my shoulder. I think I might have talked about this, but I got a shot in my shoulder a while back, and I feel like it's finally feeling the effects of it. It was PRP, so like platelets. They took it and they put it in my shoulder. But yeah, it's been treating me well. Through well today. My focus for today was staying closed on the finish and then kind of like climbing up with the javelin as I throw it. And I've been having a bad habit of like off of my penultimate step of being like too vertical. So the goal has been to try to stay more horizontal and carry a lot of speed into it rather than carrying momentum upwards and then kind of slamming down, which makes me like body does this and then javelin goes way up in the air because the force is no longer pushing back this way, it's pushing back this way. It's like I'm slamming down on my knee and like jumping up, and it's moving me all over the place. But yeah, all in all though, really happy with how today went. Had a good weekend, and I might have said that I was going to do something over the weekend, like recording wise, but I mean, I really didn't have anything to talk about, and like I said, I don't really want to waste anybody's time with stuff like this and waste my own time really. But yeah, one thing we talked about today, another thing we talked today about at practice, was embracing the suck. Like if what we were doing was easy, everybody would do it. Everybody would be a D1 athlete, everybody would be a professional athlete, everybody would go to all these big meets and everything. But the reality of it is, if you truly feel like you're called to do something that's maybe bigger than yourself, then it makes it a little easier to do those things. But yeah, so it's been fun, and just kind of been embracing how much things have been sucking, but like in a good way, because like things suck, but like at the end of the day, it's making you better, which is the biggest thing. But yeah, I mean, that was what we were talking about today. Another thing, what else? The German kid threw 90 meters this week. That was crazy. 19 years old throwing 90 meters. That's one of the craziest things I've ever seen. So shout out to him. I think his name's Max Denning, something like that. But yeah, shout out to him. Crazy to see stuff like that, and I really hope that he continues to improve and stay healthy. But I know for me, whenever I had success at a young age, it kind of pushed me to want more, and I think that's a good thing, But also, whenever you're young and dumb, and I hope that he has good people in his corner that guide him on the right path, because it's very easy to get caught up in a lot of stuff whenever you're young and fall into a good opportunity. No, I wouldn't say fall. Fall is not a good word. And work yourself into an opportunity like he has. But not that I threw 90 meters whenever I was 19, but I think I was 19 years old, and I won ACCs, and was the number 1 freshman, I think. Yeah, number 2 maybe. Yeah, I think it was number 2 freshman after Tyra Corsfield. But yeah. So success does come at a price. That's one thing that I think is interesting. Whether it's a personal price or a social price or whatever it might be. You have to make sacrifices on your way to improving, and every once in a while you can reward yourself. Like I said this weekend, I'm not gonna act like I'm an angel. Went out, had a couple drinks. It was a good time, but also I can't tell you how many weekends that I've missed out on, going out with my friends and stuff, because I know that it's not making me better in the long run. But yeah, being honest with yourself is the biggest thing, though, and I feel like that goes for everything. Whether you're trying to push through an injury, or in a tough spot mentally, or in with the wrong group of people, which I feel like a lot of people maybe don't realize that they are, and they kind of, maybe have a problem here or there. But there's like the old saying, you are who you surround yourself with. So, if you surround yourself with winners, you're going to be a winner. If you surround yourself with losers, lo and behold, you're going to be a loser. And I think there's something to be said about, people that realize that and, change themselves or change the other people. Calling people out sometimes is not the worst thing. But you have to do it in a nice way. Like, you can't just be like, hey man, you suck. Like, you have to be like, hey, I've seen this, and I think that, we can do better. I think that you can do better. Stuff like that. But I don't know. I feel like I'm kind of rambling now, but I think that's an important life lesson, especially for me. I feel like I've had a very good compass in my life, like kind of guiding me with my parents and my family and everything. So not everybody has the same opportunities that I've had. So I think that, maybe somebody needs to hear it. And if you're hearing it from me, that's it's a win in my book. But truly, I mean, I feel like you should, anybody who's watching this, take some time to just truly be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what do I need to do to take myself to the next level? And whether it's with javelin, or whether it's with life, or, relationships, what can you do to be better than you were the day before? Kind of cliche, but honestly, there's a reason why things are cliche, because they just make sense. But yeah, I had a good day today, and I'm happy to say that. Not every day can be good. Not every day's gonna be good. You can't appreciate the good days without having a couple bad days. You can't appreciate the sunshine if you don't have the rain, But, it's good to keep everything in context of where you're at, what you're doing, what you're trying to achieve, and kind of take things from there. But I think that's all I got. I hope that Hope that y'all have a great week of training. If that's what you're doing, I hope y'all have a great week of life, because we're all doing that. But yeah, just be honest with yourself. Ask yourself, what do I need to take myself to the next level? Because odds are you know it, but you just don't want to have that honest conversation with yourself. But yeah, I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.